So we have a look at the 2026 Solute wrestling tournament for every bracket here. So we have every weight class. This is the Minnesota Gopher edition. Alright, because the Minnesota Gopher fan. I'm going to show you. In session 1 was the first few rounds. I'm going to share with you which Gopher wrestlers in session 1. In session 2. Session 1 was the first 2 rounds of the main bracket, and then it started with consolation round 2. And then there was consolation, and then went to first 2 rounds. Then went to consolation round 2, and then we had consolation round 1. There wasn't even actually consolation round 1. We went to consolation round 2. And went to quarterfinals, and then consolation round 3, and round 4, and round 5. Now we're in the semifinals, which the winners of consolation round 5 went to round 6. The losers went to a 7th place match. Now the losers of the 6th round, which is consolation semifinals, go to 5th place, and which against the winner, the loser of the main bracket semifinals. They'll have a quick turnaround, immediate quick turnaround, pretty quick turnaround. And the losers of them play in this 5th place. This is the consolation sides, and the consolation semifinal winners will play in the consolation finals for the 3rd place match. So let's go do that here. So let's go talk about in the 125 weight class. The best of Minnesota was in best of Minnesota. He was a 6th overall seed. He got a bye to the consolation 2nd round. Really, they grabbed 27-8 of South Dakota State 8-2. And then he beat Rogers of VMI 8-4. Then he lost to Christians. And that was in session 2. Then he went to session 2. Still in session 2. Well, all of the wrestlers in session 2. Except session 2 pretty much. And then he lost to Key Christensen in the consolation third round. In the 133 bracket, not every Gopher was represented in the weight classes, and there's no Gophers in the 133 weight class. But actually, why not? Let's talk about non-Gophers as well. So right now, so one is in the semifinals. It's Trinka. Make it to session 3. The Soldier Suit is Big 10 plus. I'm surprised the first session of Soldier Suit was on Big 10. The main feed was on main Big 10. That you could watch Big 10 plus for the individual mats. Then they had the first round each session because there was no coverage until men's basketball at like 5 Eastern for Minnesota at Northwestern. It was not bad for Minnesota. It was on FS Fox Sports 1 and Radio Fox. It went 2. So either way, we have the K and G, the WNC and G Andrew of South Dakota State, and the Mager of Missouri, and then Georgia of Oklahoma. 3-2 in the 1-5 seed in the semifinals. Then in the consolation 6th round, Douglas beat G. Cruz 5-4, and Downey defeated Northern Ireland seed to be Hernandez of the Iowa 23rd seed. Some of these might be backup wrestlers, like on the bench, in dual meets. They don't compete in dual meets. some of these wrestlers might be, or the best main guy or second, third person. But still, it's a good chance test for these wrestlers. And they get dual action to compete in these duels. So that's, and then down the 11s, and still shows your resilience or who you wrestle. Can you move on and just beat your opponent, no matter who you play, who you wrestle, So it doesn't matter which wrestler you wrestle, you move on and just beat him. And then you have Jake Cruz and Ken Hernandez, the 14 and 23 seed from both of Iowa, playing 7th place. Douglas and Downey against to the concession semis. In the 133 bracket, there's no Gopher wrestler with Cleveland Wincy after the major decision 11-0, the forfeit. I guess it's like the forfeit decision. 11-0, and then Diverson of Iowa State beat the wrestler of the 3-second seed from the United States Military Academy. 3-0 in the fall, and then Missouri 9-4. Walker won over Wichita from Wyoming, and then Patella from UNC beat Pearson from Iowa State, Sun victory in overtime to advance. And then in the consolation 6th round, we had Hills, East Hills from Nebraska, 141 OG Heidman from Northern Illinois, Sun in overtime. And then Wichita with a fall over Pearson Iowa State's. Wichita was actually losing this. Just leading the second period. The first period is 3 minutes, and then the second and third periods are 2 minutes apiece. Which is moving on to the 5th. Is moving on to the 6th round concession semis, and Heidman and Pearson moving on to the 7th place in the Sawyer Salute. And then in the Minnesota wrestler, there's a Minnesota wrestler. In Minnesota wrestler 1 in 141, it was Lee Johnson. He won 17-0 technical fall. He won by points, 15 points to technical fall, or technical forfeit. I guess I always said 11, but over 10 is considered a major decision. 10 to 14 is 15 or more is a major is a forfeit. Basically it's like the mercy rule. Basically, 6 to 8 and then West to Z Silver of Missouri 2-0. Then went to the consolation 2nd round, lost to G Roll the 30 seed for 7-2. So that's the 2 Missouri wrestlers back-to-back matches. And then now we have 141. We have Bailey beat from Iowa, defeat N1C, defeat N1U 3-1, and then takes on Ipawi from Nebraska, or they beat Z Cells from Missouri 5-4, and then Sierra Cardiae from Navy beat Key Pearson from Iowa 7-2, and then with a fall, Awesome Cox beat from North Carolina, defeat Navy from Northern Illinois 5-0. With a fall, and then O'Neill beat Z Cells 10-4, and then O'Neill advances to the 6th round consolation, and then for at least a shot at 6th place. Key Pearson advances 7-3 with Winor Embry. They'll play the semifinal losers. And the losers will play for 5th place, the winners will play for 3rd and 4th. In the Soldier Suit 149, there's a Minnesota wrestler, R. Conan. Almost defeated the 1CJ Edmund 8-7 in the 1st round. Edmund. And then GS had by the 6th seed from Minnesota. And then there's another one. 3 Minnesota wrestlers, WDU Chain 2. One on the technical fall were the Navy Wrestling Club NWC Navy Wrestling Club. So like not the main Navy team, but like the club wrestling team from the Navy. But still a good solid win. To get a win, even the backup wrestler, even like a backup wrestler, even someone who's from Minnesota, maybe on like a second, third string wrestler, or, you know, something like that, even to get a win over anyone. Navy club team, doesn't matter who you get a win over, you get to take the win. You know, it doesn't matter who you win, you know, against. You don't care who you win against. You don't care who you win. Just win your matches, no matter who you wrestle. And then one or going in one lost, and then change to one, and then lost to Willow 9-1 fall, and then Jail just got the bye. And then 22 seed DePaul, who also got by DePaul from Southwest 143, and it's short 143, and then there's two Minnesota wrestlers being the consolation second round. You chain two in Corning 1-4-2 for the chain two, and then Corning went defeated Ask from North Carolina 3-1, and then the 32 seed lost to the United States Military Academy in a major decision 12-4. E. Brocksterman, and then Corning lost the major decision. And then there's another Minnesota wrestler, Elsich. He lost to AL, the 28 seed from Wyoming, 4-2. And then in the side house, it's Jaden, the 1 seed from Missouri, Sun Tour, 9 CJ Tona from Navy, and then P. Jordan from VMI. Had to fall over E. Brocksterman from the military game, and then the VMI is the Virginia Military Institution, and then S. Mendoza from Missouri won overtime with a forfeit Tia 118 for a blue pill, and then with Georgia 164 uppers. And then in the consolation 6th round is a Alvita 114 for Brocksterman. And major decision or United States Military Team wrestler, and then overtime Sweet Seabreaks 13-10, and then so Brocksterman Brooks or me up in the subsets Wolonovich and Alita Matt Bellin for the at least 5th place at minimum. Then there's Gopher wrestler on 57. No. So let's take a look at the matches. We had James win over Iowa, 8C Lavarti of Northern 8-6. And then Jake Conway of Missouri, 112-7 or J. Schulter of North Carolina. 4-2 or North Carolina beat Volonovich of Iowa. And then G. Travis defeated his teammate at that same weight class, Gleason, 11-2. In some of these matches, there are two wrestlers from the same school. It might be like whoever's higher up on the depth chart, or hey, winner gets to be if both of all the wrestlers maybe from that weight class are maybe hey, it's number 1, number 2 wrestler, maybe hey, winner in a real actual wrestling match environment, like winner moves on the next round of a tournament, you know, like actually real wrestling match scenario, you know. Winner might actually get the dual spot. You know, something like that. You know, maybe competing for, like Coach might say, you know, both wrestlers play each other, wrestling each other. Hey, let's go and compete. Whoever wins. I'm really not gonna give any like coaching pointers, you know, but I want you guys to figure this on your own. You know, just go and compete. You know, you may be competing for that dual spot. Just so you know, the next duel. So there's like added stuff, and he had this, so, and then Travis went 12-2, and then in the hill beat the 32 seed below O's from Boston University 3 or no, might be 3-0 in a fall. And then Iowa 4-2 G Gleason. Was 32 seed to 7 seed Gleason. And J Hill from Mount and V Wolonovich playing for the 5th at minimum, playing the NFL losers. And then that 165 bracket. There is no Minnesota on 65 competing. So it's Beer and from North Carolina defeated our Virgil from VMI 13-0 in a fall to 23 cents in the second period. Then South Dakota State's J Hearn beat M Rojas from Iowa State 73, and then J Thompson from Northern Iowa or S1 from 3-6, and then the 10 seed F Shepherd followed the number 2 seed the Mayfield from Missouri 21-5. Tarleton State Tarleton State. And nonetheless entered in as a wild card, and not like a whole team competing thing. And then we had a medical forfeit at our vigil, where the Manali had a forfeit win by medical forfeit by our Virgil. Then C1 major decision F Shepherd club wrestler from Tarleton State, and then F Shepherd will win. F Shepherd from the Tarleton State Wrestling Club wrestler, the Tarleton State wrestler. The Tarleton State wrestler. He will go back to Texas as the 7th place wrestler due to medical forfeit. He may have to stay there until Sunday to claim his title. But the 7th place title or the medal. But either way, he will end up. He did end up winning the 7th place to medical forfeit. So S1 and the Manali the 3-2 seed, and the S1 the 6 seed. Advancing. And 174 bracket. Yes, waiting. Feed wrestler from South Dakota State in a major decision 2-2. I'm waiting 1-3 C1. 15-4 will be loose. And then Amarino, that's 22C from Northern Iowa. In the second session quarterfinal. And 7-5 waiting. And went 2. And then he went to the concession 4th round. C-wing, and he won 18-5 over J. Listen, in major decision. Now forward overwhelming 1-4-2 over C-wing. C-wing well for 7th place over last and Faye. Then UNC wrestlers 6-4. Then Faye. And Delphort Faye, the semifinal loser switcher, which is semifinal loser D West and Renzi from Navy who won in a fall with the forward number 2 Kate O'Barney from Missouri. And Dios major decision and Faye for them 2. And then Monroe or Wayland 7-5, so he Monroe and Gianna from Iowa beat a forward from Mountain 5-1. And on the 187 bracket, there is no Minnesota wrestler. So 7 FLs are A. Sinclair, 117 technical receipt, and Minko from the United States Military Academy, 7-2 Resturo, and then made up 1, 3 cents in the second period. Crystal from Nebraska defeated South Dakota State's S. McConville 16-3, so they didn't reach the quarters. First, the semifinals was first in the day, and then it'll be semifinals for each weight class. There are 6 matches. This will be the semifinals for each weight class, and then you go to, and it'll be the Constellation 6 run, which is for these wrestlers, which is the Constellation semifinals, the losers of those regular semifinals, and the Constellation 5th round winners. And that's the 7th place match, one for each, which is the Constellation 5th round losers. They'll do it then. Then you might have in the same session 3, the Constellation finals and the Constellation 5th place. You may have that as well. We have N. Pinko from Military Academy. And moving on with a 3-0 technical fall over Team Miller. And then Pin, and then Jay Watson. Mercy 59 seconds in the third. And Mercy his teammate, but that's this. Jay Watson definitely is gonna definitely getting next to duel meet for South Coast, and then there's only 15 wrestlers competing here. I guess I might use their rankings from like the national rankings, like on the interlead or whatever they use. Basically internet, I guess, the internet rankings, but because not all the top wrestlers in the country are competing. Not all of them. Some aren't. Like that number 9 seed. Number 9 wrestler in the country, he's not competing. So, and then we have a Minnesota wrestler. Yes, Daly. Well, it's the Henry and unseed wrestler 3-2, Wyoming. And then we went straight to the Constellation 3rd round. Daly did, and then straight to Constellation 3rd round. And he bowed out, double lost. Lost both matches. First 2 matches he wrestled in. Got low by decks, so he wrestled in 2 matches. And he lost both of them. He shoved on 6-1 over Steely, 15 seed from BMI, 1 seed Gino Vet from number 8 seed Canical from North Carolina 7-2, then 8 Shigadi 10 from Iowa, defeat 8 Harris from Oklahoma 2-1, and then Z Howell from Navy defeats 6 Cedar Platte from UNC, North Carolina 8-1, then E Bates from Missouri. Technical followed a minute for with 20 cents left in that match time. G Henry and C Wyoming wrestler. This time he won, and then in the main bracket, and then M Caliban. You got Mercy Ortiz Shuffle of the Virginia Military Institute. And went to Constellation 6th round, and Shuffle and Henry advancing to after unseed wrestler after Arplat major decision of 14-2. So Arplat moving on to minimum 5th place. And then there is no Minnesota wrestler in the bracket yet in the 187. In the 285 in heavyweight, we have a Minnesota wrestler named Hopkey. We had a couple Minnesota heavyweight wrestlers. We had two Minnesota heavyweight wrestlers, Hopkey and Tabor. Hopkey won 2-0 over Esto from Missouri in the 2nd round, and beat Tabor 1-11-3 over the Military Academy wrestler of Tipfall. Military Academy wrestler C1, and Z Zola won from Nebraska 1-4 beat Tabor from Minnesota, and then Happy the 4C beat 8C JD Rara 5-1 over OSC wrestler. Then we had C Happy is advancing the semis with Jake Sikiro and Z Zola beat Tabor. This was Z Zola's manager. S and Bosca one major decision J Levy over North Carolina 13-4 to advance the sides. And then we had from Minnesota, we had J. Merrill from Nebraska, J. Storm from Missouri, 24, advancing to the competition to the 6th round, event minimum the 5th place switch, and B. Hill from Oklahoma. He seated in 1 over B. Tabor from Minnesota, J. Stoner, Missouri, B. Tabor from Minnesota, advancing to went to the 7th place with the losses. So there's some Minnesota, a couple Minnesota wrestlers left in the bracket at the, and there's 2 women. There's Koi Happy, the heavyweight, 285-pound heavyweight wrestler. Heavyweight wrestler. Koi Happy, and weight limit is 285 for heavyweights. So Koi Happy advancing to semifinals at the Soldiers, 4th Soldiers Salute, Cordoba, Iowa, and then Bennett Tabor is advancing to the 7th place match. Bennett Tabor is, and then waiting is advancing to the 7th place. Cleanly advancing the 7th place match in his weight class. Bennett Tabor advancing to a 7th place match as well. So Bennett Tabor in clean waiting wrestle for 7th place in their brackets, and quite happy his events to the semifinals. So we'll see. So at minimum, quite happy, even if he loses all his last 3 matches, will be a 6th place wrestler at minimum. But he'd like to compete for. If you win, you compete for 1st and 2nd in session 4. You compete for the 4th session 4. If you lose, you might be in the 4th session. I'm not for sure, but either way, you are not wrestling for. You end up wrestling again in the 3rd session, and then you end up wrestling in the 3rd session again, most likely with a quick turnaround, and trying to wrestle back to get 3rd.